everyone, we are going to be colouring the second gift tag today from this lovely series of a free download from Agotapop, and we're going to be doing this gingerbread house. It's so cute. We're going to be using this Staedtler pencils again, the Ergosofts, because it's quite a small detailed picture. It means that I can get into all those little spaces, which is good. So I'm going to actually start off by colouring the house in its gingerbread. So I'm going to start with number 49. Just zoom in a little bit more. There, that's better, isn't it? And I'm going to colour all over the area that I think will be made of the gingerbread to start with, just in a layer of this, and then we'll sort of add to it after. We just get the sort of basics down. Now we've got these windows, which in gingerbread houses they're often made of boiled sweets, aren't they? I think people crush down a boiled candy into little pieces and then pop it into the gap, and then when they bake the gingerbread it melts and then it sets and it looks like a little window, which is such a clever idea. I've never made a gingerbread house. It's just not something we did. I don't think when we were young it was a thing in the UK, and then as I've got older I just haven't really sort of got into it, I suppose. I think probably because I don't really eat lots of sugary treats, so that's probably just something that I haven't really sort of bought into really. But I think they make absolutely cute colouring items, so I really enjoy doing that. Okay, so there is a basic layer. I'm going to take a slightly darker colour now, and this is the number 73, and I'm going to do around the edges in this, partly because when it's built there will be some shadow around the edges of the pieces where there's icing and other bits and pieces overlapping it, but also when it's cooked it would probably go a little bit darker on the edges, I'm guessing, having not baked it. So that's how I'm going to do it anyway. I expect a lot of you have actually baked your own gingerbread houses and made beautiful things. I remember seeing some in shops. They do have kits, I think, where they come with all the pieces and the icing and you can sort of put it together. I think the aim is to do it with your children really, but as I say, we've never really done that. I do remember our traditional, my mum would always make a Christmas cake, like a rich fruit cake with marzipan and icing. That's always delicious. And although as a young child I didn't really like it, I liked the marzipan and the icing, but I didn't like the rich fruit cake. I found the dried fruit would sometimes taste a bit burnt. It wasn't her fault, she didn't burn it. It was just how it seemed to be as it came. I'm going in with 49 again now to try and smooth off those sort of transitions where the colour changes. So I didn't like that. So I would prefer the other cake that she made, which was a chocolate Yule log. And it was basically, she would buy a chocolate Swiss roll, usually Cadbury's chocolate Swiss roll cake, and two actually, and then she would cut them up and make a sort of a log with a split log, so a long piece and then a bit coming off like that, and she would make some chocolate buttercream icing and ice it in stripes to look like bark, and well, she might have gone over it with a fork or something to give the bark, I'm not sure. And then she would put a little plastic Merry Christmas decoration and some robins. Oh, she'd make a little nest. She'd just do an iced swirl to make a little nest and sit the robins in the nest. It was just gorgeous, and you can imagine how delicious I mean, chocolate cake, what's not to like? I'm going to go in with this slightly lighter colour. This is number 16, which is a sort of goldy colour. And I'm just going to do some of these central areas just to brighten a little bit. It's just a little quick touch, additional touch. You don't have to do this. I just want to smooth out a bit. There we go. Okay, we have our windows. I'm just going to do those quickly. Ow, sorry, my arm's hurting. Number 1 for the windows is just going to be a solid yellow. Now I've where I had my COVID booster, it's a bit sore on my arm. There we go, really simple. As I was saying, like the boiled sweets. Now around the window here and down these sides and around here we have a sort of what's going to be a stripy pattern. I'm going to grab a red. I'm going to use the number 29 and I'm going to do it red and white, and I'm just hoping we have got an even number around this window. We'll see, won't we? So I do a darker bit on each edge and then just bring it towards the middle so that there's a lighter bit in the center, and it makes it look shiny as if it's a sort of candy cane type sweet. Yeah, we've got an even number. Thank you. There we go. I'm going to do the same on the door, although this looks a bit more like it's icing. I think it will just make it look fun, because I'm going to leave some of the icing white. There we go. Hopefully this will work. And we've got a white one there, that's fine. And for the house, do a similar thing on each side. Again, it's not, it might not be supposed to be this sort of candy, but I think the red just makes it look really festive. Right, now I'm going to do these holly berries here with this red. I'm going to do them quite intense. I'm not really doing any shading, just a really dark intense red. I'm going to use some white pen later, and I might put some shine on those. I think they're the only holly berries we have. Yes. Okay, now we have this line under the icing for the roof, and I'm thinking maybe we'll go in with a sort of chocolatey colour and do a chocolatey colour for the door. So I'm going to use number 76. Both of the dark browns in the Ergosoft are quite good for a chocolatey look anyway. I don't know if you get both in the 24 set, but if you're using something like Arteza, they actually have a chocolate brown. I think Prismas do too. Not sure. There we go. And I think I'm going to do, or we'll do the door like I said. I was going to do that bottom, but I think we'll leave that because that's supposed to be snow, isn't it? Probably. And so we'll just do this. If you're using it up and down action colouring, it looks a bit more like wood, but we sort of want it to look like chocolate wood. So would you try to colour all of it if you can. There we go. Now let's do some of the, I've got a star there in the sky. I think we'll do some of the greenery. Over here I use particular colours. I might do a little bit different on this side, just for fun. So for the holly, I think I'm just going to use number 5, and I'm going to do it quite solid. So I'm not going to do any shading. I'm just going to do a solid colour, and you'll see why I will, at the end, I will add some touches and it will look a little bit different. It just gives you a different idea on how to colour it. So you can choose if you want to do it this way, or do it the way that I did it yesterday, or do it a completely different way. I just don't want to always do it the same. I would if it was just for me, but as I'm demoing it, I will do it in a different way. And there's nothing better or worse about this way than the other way anyway. Where are we going? Over here. So I hope you're all getting ready for Christmas. It's I'm just sort of getting in the Christmas mood. All this Christmas colouring is great fun. The thing with making videos though is that you have to sort of work ahead of yourself, because I like to have them out in advance, already scheduled to go, especially it's a delivery van outside. I may have to pause and go, especially with the holidays coming up and everyone being here. So it also gives me a break, which I find sometimes if I have a little break and then come back, I feel like I am fresher somehow, which is nice. Even as much as I really enjoy doing this, sometimes just having a little break and coming back makes a big difference. I never have a break from colouring because I love it, but when I colour for myself, I do sometimes do things a little bit differently. Or I experiment a bit more because no one's watching, so that can be fun. There are pictures that I do that I don't show. They've been a bit of an experiment, hasn't always worked, but there we go. Now for the mistletoe, I think I'm just going to use the darker green, and that's number 57. Actually that could be, there's some workmen going to my neighbour's house today, so it could be them that I can hear with a van rather than a delivery, although she said she was expecting them an hour later than it is today, so we'll see. She just wanted me to keep an eye out on them. But, I can't really see very well out of my window, but I'll do my best. Yes, I hope you're getting all feeling Christmassy. Obviously, not everyone celebrates Christmas, but I think most people that watch my videos probably do. And it's quite nice to have a little celebration in the middle of the winter, whether you're a Christian or whether you just celebrate and have some fun with your family. This leaf here, I'm going to do, yeah, I do it this colour. This is number 52. And again, I'm just going to go in a hard layer. Now, if you've got a little bit more time, you might want to go over these a little bit to make them really neat and solid. You could even use a burnisher to get them neat and solid, but I'm not going to spend masses of time just because you'll get really bored. Now we've got this star. I'm going to use number 11 to colour in this star in the sky. Very bright. Quite fun. It's actually brighter than the windows, but that's okay. Now I need to think a little bit about a background because we've got snow. So a background for a house, I would think probably blue. Excuse me. Could do something a bit different. No, I'm going to do a pale blue, I think. This number 30, this is the palest blue. What I'm going to do is just try and keep it light. And like I did on the other decoration, which you may or may not have watched the video for, I'm just going to try to gently fade it out towards the edge. Now it's quite difficult to do this, particularly with a blue, but I'm going to do my best. Now if you aren't confident in doing that, you could just colour the whole of this tag in the blue. That's an alternative way, but there's a lot more colouring if you do that. And it means that when you write the name on, if you write it on the front, you'll have to write it on top of your colouring, but that might not be such a bad thing. Of course, if you print these on blue paper, then your background's there already, but it will obviously mean that it would interfere with this. You'd have to go over that in a white pen to, you know, to make it stand out. Where should I go down here? So I'm trying to hold my pencil on its side and flat and just apply just a little bit of pressure to get the faded effect that I'm looking for. So it's not easy. There are a lot of people that do it a lot better than I do, but I'm just going to have a go and show you. If you're not confident, you can always practice on some rough paper, practice different pressures and different ways to hold the pencil until you get the effect that you're looking for. What I am going to do is in a minute use some pen to finish it off, and you'll see my plan unfolding. But I have to do this blue first. It's only a little bit. You could probably miss this stage out actually, because I think the snow will still work without it. You can see it's quite scribbly up here. You probably can't see. There, you might be able to see where I'm trying to do a sort of round and round movement, but it's actually just looking messy. So it's not that easy. Now what I'm going to do is grab a blender. Now the Staedtler Blender is probably a good one to use with a Staedtler pencil, I would think. Just looking for my sharpener, which is put away in its correct place. Of course I didn't look there because I didn't expect that I'd have put it away. So this is the Staedtler Blender. It's I think it's one of the Staedtler Design Journey items. What I'm trying to do is just smooth that out and fade it a bit towards the edges. And the blender sometimes takes off a bit of a layer of pencil, which might help me. It hasn't actually done that. I found this blender is better than I expected, which is interesting. I don't know why I expected it not to be very good, but anyway. So I'm just trying to even that out a little bit. And then I think it's doing a reasonable job. But on the very edges, I'm going to get an eraser and just soften them a bit here where it's a bit heavy. I'm just taking back a bit of pencil here and there. I probably should have done this before I blended it. But anyway, you can just soften that edge there, particularly where it's a bit heavy. I'll just get my brush, just brush that away. There we go. Now we're going to go in with some silver pen. This is from this set of glitter pens, but it is just a plain silver pen, glitter pen, so you could use any silver glitter pen that you have. I'm going to zoom out to make sure you can see. Excuse me sniffing. And I'm going to do the snow in the sky to start with. But I'm also going to do the roof, but I'm just going to follow the edge. I'm not going to fill in the whole roof with the pen. I'm just going to do the edge. But it's up to you. You could do the whole roof if you think that that is the effect that you want. Whoops! Especially if you do that. So around all these little icicles. Like that, and I'm going to do around the edge of the white icing here. It's a bit fiddly, but it's okay. And the same on this side. And this berry I haven't coloured in. I'm going to go around and do these as well, and all this now. I'm trying hard not to smudge what I've done, but I suspect I will in a minute when I do my next bit. Okay, we haven't done the door handle, I've just realised. I think I'm just going to do that in a red, in our number 29. I'll try not to put that down on top of the glitter. I think that will look good. Oh, we haven't done any on the ground. We've got this little bit down here. I think we'll just add a bit here. Now what I see some people doing with things like this is they print them out on a craft paper. I always think that looks really pretty. So that's an idea for you to think about. Right, we're now going in with the white. Sorry, that's blurred. I'm trying not to put it down on the page and smudge everything. And we're going to go onto the leaves and we're going to do some detailing around to make them look shiny, which is why I wanted them quite solid colour, so that this white would show up and they would shine, look shiny a bit on these, and even on this. It's not going to show up on the lighter colour so well, but I still pop it there anyway. I think that's blocking up. Sometimes the pencil can block up the tip of the pen, so have some, I've always got some scrap paper next to me to sort of scribble on. The more solid you colour this, the more the pen will show up. That's worth noting that. And the star I'm also going to do with a gold glitter. I think it needs to stand out. So here is just a normal gold glitter pen. I'm going to go around the edges. This is a little bit awkward because I need to be careful not to smudge anything. I'm not used to using these very much. I'm wondering whether to go around the windows. I think I will, because I think it'll be pretty if they shine. So just around each of the windows. There we go. I'd like to go around each holly berry in a red. Just need to check that I've got the right colour. Sometimes I get a bit fooled by my glitter pens. Don't look the right colour. Yeah, that's the red. You could do the whole thing in red if you want. Oh, there's my neighbour's house alarm going off. Whoops. Okay. So that's that. We are done. I'm going to show you that quickly and go and check on my neighbour's house and make sure all is well. But there's our little cottage. So thank you for watching and happy colouring.